What's up, America? I just have to get on and talk about just what they say, the spiritual warfare that we go through as being believers. You know, excuse me, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 11 talks about who is it for a man to leave his wife or for a wife to leave her husband if they are able to live in a home without strife, because who is to say that the husband will not be sanctifying the wife, and who is to say that the wife may not be sanctifying the husband, right? But that is only if they can live in a house without strife. Sometimes I think that you can love people as much as you can and they still won't get it. And at the end of the day, you get to a point where you get tired of loving unlovable motherfuckers. Excuse my language. Unlovable people who, first and foremost, don't know even how to use their own small member. But that member controls the whole body, which is the tongue. Out of your mouth speaks life or death into your rim and into existence. So, I said all that to say this. America, let's keep our comments to ourselves, especially if we have nothing good to say about someone. Then really, we can keep that opinion in our head. Say it for what? To start a bunch of bullshit? To have people now going to do drive-bys and shit and innocent kids get knocked off because guess what, you just couldn't, not respond? Every reaction doesn't need a reaction, and every, guess what, response doesn't need a response. So, at the end of the day, like I said, if you ain't got nothing good to say, then don't say nothing at all. And please don't be one of them chicken shit ass, so I will say it again, type of people that will say something behind a person's back but can't say it to their face. Because those type of people will be the people I just want to take off from. Because it's the point, the principles, and the principalities to just life. And life is very simple if you keep simplicity in it. But in the day and ages that we're living in, man, this is what God talked about in Revelations. We're going to be warring against our children, our parents, our husbands, all types of stuff, man. Life is too short for that. Get on your JOB, awaken yourself. Hey, this is for everybody that thought that they knew about me. 2024, I have nothing to say unless it's about, let's say, elevating me to a better motherfucking level of existence. Because I am not a miserable person. I have a lot of fun, just not with the people that so-called love me with all the love of the Lord. Because really, I don't think those people actually know me. And if they do, then guess what? They only know the cover version that they thought that they were making me into be, because I might have, for a certain amount of time, got into that character. But I can only be me. Just like Lloyd say, this is me. So please accept me for who I am. Please accept me for what I do. But they won't do that. They'll use what you do. Oh, they love it when they get in a return, but they don't love it when all of a sudden, guess what? It ain't benefiting them. Oh, that's called one-sided. It's called narcissism. Please save that for somebody else. Go find or knock you another young tenderoni that might buy that shit. But I'm going to tell you what I know. If you is out there popping pussy, nigga, you better be popping that pussy for you, girlfriend. Because your daddy, please believe, unless you got your own bank account where you can go get your own funds, your daddy's not your daddy. Your daddy is a person that, guess what, you are funding. And when your back is up against the wall, if it's crunch time, guess what, they might leave you. Like a motherfucking, what's it? 211-187, wet with rocks in your pocket somewhere on the side of the curb, talking about, call me when you break luck. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm too old for that shit. Not going to hear that shit. And if I was going to go pop some pussy at my age, guess what? I'm going to do it for me. I damn sure ain't going to do it for a nigga I'm married to give him a motherfucking thing. Nigga, you got years of that from me. So, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm still trying to get right with the Lord. I am not trying to lead my men into iniquity, sexual immorality, or adultery. The times that I do, hey, I'm only human, and I'm a sinner like everybody else. I can say I will justify it with you shouldn't have been out there cheating on your wife. But does that make it right what I'm doing? No, it does not. So I cannot use that as a justification for why I still commit the same sin over and over again that I know that God is calling me from. Hey, what they say, the flesh is a hard thing to starve, but it can be tamed. Only with obedience, dedication, and guess what, consistency can that be done though. So at the end of the day, like I said, I am so determined this year to make sure that I make some mistakes for myself. I am so tired of listening to all the niggas that love me. They're going to take care of me. They're going to, oh my God, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. You know what? Pretty sometimes ends up pretty callous, and then you know when you become pretty callous, you become pretty broken, and you're just damaged goods. So you might as well slit your wrist and do the world a favor and bleed out, because it's only a matter of time before you're going to end up dead anyways. Hey, I know all about that. I had a pretty sister, pretty gone. And I listened every time I called her for years after years, her getting harder and just sounding not even like the person that I knew her to be. I'm going to blame that on a nigga, though. I'm going to blame that on the fact that, guess what? You niggas really sometimes have shit so confused, because at the end of the day, thank you for your rib, but we give you life. And the ground we walk upon, I don't give a fuck what you thought about how we looked. I don't care who you thought we might be. I don't care if we did look like Throw Up or the crackhead of the fucking year. We are somebody's mama. We are somebody's daughter. We are somebody's child. And guess what? Without us, nigga, there would be no you. I really wish all of us women would just reboot and stop letting these niggas play two ways against the middle and straddle the fence, and then all of a sudden we warring against each other, because that's not the way that God meant for the helpmate to be. We were made from man for man. Supposed to love him with agape love, to help him not feel so, what do you say, insecure, and feed off his little man complexes. At the end of the day, I was not meant to be your fucking scapegoat either, though. Okay? At the end of the day, guess what, nigga? It takes two in any relationship. So if it's all me, then I guess you play some type of role, huh? Because if it's just all me, then what type of relationship was I in? I think it might have been a cult. At the end of the day, man and woman were meant to be together. They were meant to have agape love for each other. And woman, you were made from man for man. You're not even made from God. You're made from man. So are you serious? Are you serious, man? Like in 2024, this is just really how we're going to keep on treating our queens. That you're supposed to love like the crown you wear upon your head and adore like the church. At least, especially if it's your wife. How dare you, man, open up your mouths to want to sit there and act like, guess what? It's us. Because, nigga, you supposed to be the head, but you play tail. Then when the bitch has to take the head and the tail position, then all of a sudden she's acting funny or she's a lesbian bitch. First of all, I'm not gay. Even though I have a husband that will swear up and down I'm gay, nigga, I don't munch. To each their own. I don't discriminate either, and I'm not here to judge. But at the end of the day, that's not my preference. That's not what tickles my fancy, and I'm strictly dickly. And anybody that knows me and seeing this video will be like, she ain't lying. We ain't never heard of her to be with no females, nothing like that. But we got somebody that's supposed to love me with all the love of the Lord and been with me over 20 years that will tell you the same thing, I'm gay. But that's how much he doesn't know me. What he knows is a picture perfect, or say, cover girl, authentic, plastic clone version of who he wanted me to be for him. And see, I can't be that anymore. I've made so many mistakes for everybody else in the 42 years of my living. I'm going to start making some mistakes for myself and for the kingdom of God. And I don't care who likes it. I don't care who's with me. I don't care anymore. I don't need any likes. I don't need to be YouTube famous. I don't need to be none of that. What I need to be is just who I've always been. A child of God. And a person that will stand up and be a witness and be a witness. See, I'll tell the world wherever I go. I'm not ashamed to let the world know I'll be a witness. Be a witness for the Lord. Yeah, that was my first solo, but, you know, spiritual growth was sudden. Especially when I had people snatching microphones out my hand, and, you know, because, you know, gospel music has become now just a show for the congregation. Not something that's done from your heart. But I just love the fact that, guess what, I've always been the same person, and I always will be the same person. And really, I'm not going to change unless God leads me to know that that's what I'm supposed to do. I have things I have to work on, like we all do. But change who I am? No, never that, because I know I'm genuine. Same way I started is the same way I finish it. I let my yeses be yeses, my noes be noes, and I keep it straight laced, cut to the chase, all bullshit aside, so there's no discrepancies. But to each their own. Once again, America, love, love, love. Love like you have never loved before. Love the unlovable people who make you want to not love them. Love them anyways, because that's what God asks us to do. And in doing so, I'm saying this to tell myself, because see, I'm honest enough when I'm not passing some of my storms and tests that God has been giving me. See, I have nothing good to give back to my husband, especially when he has nothing good to feed me with. Then when I know that I know But them streets will keep calling you dog. You'll keep putting your wife on the back burner to go and hang out with them hoes. But they ain't even really hoes. Them bitches look like hobos. They broke and they disgusting in alleys, at vandals, and what to say? The back of the trash cans. I don't roll like that. Never have, and I ain't trying to act like I'm some big old bitch. Cause guess what? I've done some shit I thought I never do. But if you wanna ask me, I'll tell you, boo. I won't walk around like I'm too good, like I'm a red carpet bitch when I know I would. Go to the fucking hood to trap out in the Mexican neighborhood if I have to. Don't tell me when I don't know what you will do for a Klondike bar if your back's up against that wall. But what I do know, though, is that we don't have to do that if we sit still. Humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God and let Him fight our battles for us. If He's for us, who can be against us? Then you'll be able to sit back kind of like me. People think I'm doing this shit to be facetious. No, I'm not doing this shit to try to fuck with my husband's ego. I love my husband. I just don't like him. And I don't like the shit that he's doing, but that's because it's not him I'm talking to. It's a demonic being that's got him fucking held prisoner in his own walls. And then I don't like the fact that he can make my demonic demon that, we have all of us a demon within inside our own walls. We pick and choose when we let that motherfucker out of Pandora's box. Excuse my language again, because that was the devil being let out of Pandora's box. Because really, I don't even cuss like that. So unladylike. Takes away all the beauty of just who a woman is. With every bleep, 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 bleep. It's just disrespectful. And I'm tired of disrespecting myself, trying to love an unlovable person. Hey, I love you, but why don't you try loving yourself so maybe you can love your wife the way that she deserves to be loved? Because if not, like I said, the courthouse is downtown, nigga. Please go get the paperwork. I'll sign them. Not a problem. That shit could have been official like a referee blowing a whistle in 2016, but instead I chose to go ahead and send for you to come to my hometown. And guess what? Make me look like a zip damn fool. Give me my first DV assault charge against my so-called 9-year-old. Yeah. And I still loved his unlovable ass. Still came back to this desert with his unlovable ass. I really came back because my daughter was now in his possession, and I didn't feel like putting her through a ringworm of just shit. She had already been through some more shit in her life at that time. But, I just love people that want to think they know the story, but nigga, they don't know the story. They know the ad-lib bits and pieces that they probably get in from a nigga. And guess what? He couldn't tell you shit because he wasn't the star motherfucking actress in the movie. I was. Are you out your mind? Like, sometimes these niggas talk to me like, nigga, I'm just really gay and goofy, or that motherfucking all-day sucker bitch without a rapper written on my forehead. I'm not, nigga. I wasn't born last night. Nigga, I'm not the smartest motherfucking tool in this shit, but I damn sure ain't the dullest. And at least I can come up with an ideal. More than some of you motherfucking characters. So, at the end of the day, to all you niggas that don't know how to treat your queens, let's say, thumbs down, hose up. Hey, bitch, get that money, don't forget to get that motherfucking money, don't forget all money ain't good money, and at the end of the day, nigga, remember to report to yourself, nigga, you're trapped. I can't see myself allowing myself to deprive myself in 2024 on none of that shit these so-called peas be talking about. And nigga, really they ain't even peas, nigga, because I'm a real daughter of a real pimp and a hoe, married 19 and a half years, okay? When pimping was pimping for some real pimping, like my mama said, her bathing suits was custom made, nigga. These motherfucking hoes walking down the strip in Las Vegas, Nevada ain't talking about shit. They already get their people caught up for pimping and pandering. And some more shit. But they know everything and don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, nor how to wash their punanis good. And guess what? If they sat back and listened to a real veteran, seasoned, if you knew better, you do better. You understand what I'm saying? And really, I'm trying to do better. I'm not trying to have to go out there and make my men sin to get me a little bit of bread. Because for what? Nigga, I'm too old for that shit. My shit should have been hung up a long time ago. Like I said, I'll blame that on poor management skills. And poor management skills because I chose to manage her. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not even mad at myself anymore. What I'm sick of, though, is these niggas lying to you pretty girls. And before you pretty girls getting your 20 good, you're pretty fucking broken. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally bankrupt. When you don't even know how beautiful you are. When you don't even know the way that God sees you. When you have no idea the way that his son Jesus sees you. He bared his blood on Calvary for you, baby. And that battle was won a long time ago. So what are us Americans still fighting for? Oops. Because the devil has got us distracted. He's feeding us with a bunch of bullshit. And we're biting like just dumbass motherfucking salmon somewhere up in a net, just ready to get hauled in for a good old, what's it, skipper shipment. I'm too old for that. I'm trying to sit back with my grandkids and enjoy them. That's what makes me happy. I'm trying to give back to some little girl that actually wants to heed to something I might have to say, because she hasn't got to the point where she just has arrived and thinks she knows every fucking thing. And please believe I can tell you all about that, because I was one of those little girls. And I had to find out the hard way I didn't know shit. And at 42 years old, I still don't know shit. But I do know how to say, yes, God, I'll go. No more looking back. I'm tired of running. At the end of the day, like I said, love, 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 but don't forget to love yourself. And remember, always look to the hills where your help comes from. Because God will give you the peace that surpasses all understanding. It's like a different, just, let's say, elevation of just a level of just the dimension that we think that we're in. Because God's time is not our time. But no one thing for certain, two things for sure. God ain't never late. He's always right on time. He makes a way when there's no way. What is it? And even when I can see it, you're working. And even when I can feel it, you're working. You never stop, you'll never stop working. You'll never stop, he'll never stop working. And even when I can see him, he's working. And even when I can feel him, he's working. He never stops working. God does more work in the darkness than he does in the light. That's why he asks us to rest. Stay blessed, America. And remember, you are the light that's supposed to shine in the darkest of places.